Everyone used to say the same thing: work hard, save money, buy a house. That was supposed to be the simple path. A job would turn into savings, savings would become a down payment, and a down payment would become a home. But today, for millions of people, that path feels broken. You can have a job, you can avoid expensive cars, you can skip vacations, you can save slowly for years, and still, when you look at the price of a normal home, it feels like the goal moved further away while you were running toward it. So the question is not just, why are houses expensive? The real question is, who changed the game? Because this did not happen by accident. For a long time, housing was treated as shelter first and an investment second. But over the last few decades, that order has flipped. A home is no longer just where a family lives. It is also an asset, a retirement plan, a rental product, a hedge against inflation, and in many cities, a financial weapon. That one shift changed everything. When housing becomes an investment product, everyone starts competing for the same roof. Families compete with landlords. First-time buyers compete with investors. Young workers compete with older homeowners who bought years ago at lower prices. And in some markets, local buyers compete with global money. The result is simple. Homes stop being priced only around local wages. They start being priced around wealth, and wealth moves faster than wages. That is the first reason people cannot afford homes anymore. Prices rose faster than paychecks. After 2020, home prices jumped in many places while wages could not keep up. Mortgage rates later moved higher, which made the same house much more expensive every month. A home that already felt expensive became painful once the monthly payment included higher interest, insurance, taxes, and maintenance. This is the part many people miss. A house price is only one number. The real problem is the monthly cost. If a home costs more, and the interest rate is higher, and insurance is more expensive, and property taxes are rising, then the buyer is not facing one problem. They are facing 4 problems, stacked on top of each other. That is why people say, "My parents bought a home on one income. Why can't I buy one with 2 incomes?" Because your parents were not buying in the same market. They were not bidding against the same investor class. They were not dealing with the same interest rate shock. They were not trying to save a down payment while rent ate a huge part of income. And they were not buying into a system where every shortage turns into another price increase. The second reason is supply. Many countries, especially the United States and parts of Europe, simply did not build enough homes where people actually need them. Cities added jobs, but not enough housing. Zoning rules made it hard to build apartments, smaller homes, or affordable starter houses. Neighborhoods often fought new construction because existing homeowners feared lower property values or more traffic. So the system protected people who already owned homes, while making it harder for new buyers to enter. That is the uncomfortable truth. A rising home price is a crisis for the buyer, but it can feel like success for the owner. If you already own a house, higher prices make you feel richer. If you do not own one yet, higher prices lock you out. So politicians talk about affordability, but voters who own homes often benefit from scarcity. That is why the housing crisis is so hard to fix. The third reason is investors. Not every investor is evil. Renting out homes has always existed. But when large investors, private equity firms, and professional landlords enter the housing market at scale, they can change the balance. They can buy homes with cash. They can move faster than families. They can turn houses into rentals, and they can treat neighborhoods like portfolios. For a normal buyer, a home is emotional. It is security. It is family. It is a future. For an investor, it is yield. And when the buyer with emotion competes against the buyer with capital, capital often wins. The fourth reason is the down payment trap. Even if you can afford the monthly payment, you still need to save the money to enter the market. But rent is already high, food is high, insurance is high. Student loans and car payments may already be taking part of your paycheck, so you try to save, but every year the target moves. You save $10,000, but the home price rises $20,000. You cut spending, but the down payment goal grows faster. This is why so many people feel like they are doing the right thing and still losing. It is not because they are lazy, it is because the math is moving against them. So who is really to blame? The honest answer is not one villain. It is a system of incentives. Governments wanted home values to rise. Banks made money lending against property. Investors saw housing as a stable asset. Existing homeowners wanted their neighborhoods to stay valuable. Builders often made more profit from luxury homes than affordable ones. And politicians avoided the hard choices because fixing housing usually angers someone powerful. That is the climax of the story. The housing crisis is not just a market problem. It is a political problem, a wealth problem, and a generation problem. People were told that if they worked hard, they could buy the dream, but the dream was quietly turned into an asset class. And once shelter becomes an investment battlefield, ordinary people pay the price. The solution is not simple. More homes need to be built. Zoning needs to change. Starter homes need to return. Investors need limits in some markets. Wages need to catch up, and housing policy needs to treat shelter as more than a financial product. But for now, millions of people are stuck in the middle. Too responsible to give up, too squeezed to save fast, and too late to buy at yesterday's prices. That is why you cannot afford a house anymore, not because you failed the system, but because the system changed faster than your paycheck. And in the end, finance is not just about numbers on a screen. It is about the choices we make, the systems we live in, and the future we are trying to protect. If this video helped you see money a little differently, subscribe to the channel for more clear and honest finance breakdowns. Thanks for watching.